game goes late, we're talking like 35 to 40 minutes, I would assume it's going to be the support group. Because I think that they have more carries, like just flat out. Like the enemy team is what, 4 tanky members into a Gwen, right? Like I think Salson is primed here to, even if he does lose his lane, he is primed to be in a situation where on a side lane, no one will be able to match him unless they send multiple members, right? Because if Shen goes, Shen dies. Oh, okay, let's not talk about that. The big hook. Really clean there, and I think it's going to be first blood. Yeah, Bomber's going to get it with his ignite, and that is big there for them. They got the flash out of the Poppy. Obviously, Poppy does take the Hex flash, so it's not like she's going to have 0 mobility for the next 5 minutes, but having no flash, if they can abuse that further, will be really good for them. But also, more importantly, it sets Boom back on his clear, so you know, camps are spawning now. I'm not sure what Waterboy's doing. He's kind of stood around. He didn't start his camp immediately. Saw that on the mini-map, but
yeah, it looked like Neferi wanted to start top, but then sort of did a little wiggle, and so it looks like both junglers, but actually both of them delayed. I think maybe Neferi might have a 3-second head start. But going into this now, we're going to see sort of... The question is, so when we're looking at the top lane matchup, it's a case of can Shen neutralize this Gwen, right? How long will he be able to do so? When we look into the jungle matchup, we see great damage, and then we see great setup potential from Poppy, right? So it's a case of, if I was the junglers, I think all concentration should be bot. Obviously, Neferi has the option just to focus, get the Gwen ahead, get the Void Grubs, get the split push going, have Gwen be a major threat. In mid lane, once again, it's just it should realistically be a farm lane. I mean, as we say in that, Swain's doing a great job bullying this Galio out. And in the bot side, it goes around the Thresh hook. If the Thresh hook lands, Gromp support group wins. If the Thresh hook misses, Fondu should be able to punish it correctly and aggressively. But we'll see how it goes, because once again, player skill, right? Beautiful trade from the Swain player, once again, coming out. Big fan of Swain myself, representing the prestige skin right there, the chosen one Swain skin there. Fantastic skin.
Crazy. Well, one thing I did want to say is you mentioned the fact that bot lane is going to be primed on whether or not Thresh can land hooks, and I don't know how much of Gromp support group you watched last year, and we see that is another hook gonna land there, but I don't know how much of it you saw, but his Nautilus was easily one of the best in the tournament, and so he is very familiar on hook champs. But regardless of that, we do see Fentonjoyer here is going to give over a free kill. Unfortunately, did waste his flash there trying to get away as well, but not the best thing you want to see here in the mid lane. I think Galio here is fortunately not going to be their carry, much is the way of most Gromp support group drafts. They play mostly around their AD carry. So Pizzazz is a Aphelios main because it has an insane ban rate against them. Yeah, I think we've seen him play a lot of Xayah, we've seen him play a lot of MF recently. Both champions have been very successful for Gromp support group, so we'll have to see how that one plays out for them. As Salson has taken a losing trade against Athenum, and we didn't mention this actually, but the Shen has Ignite. So the Shen is looking to dominate lane. Like, you don't take Ignite, I think, without wanting to win lane, no?
So this is the weird thing with Shen, right? Shen 1 through 5 is such a great and amazing duelist. Unfortunately, never mind. Going for a dive here, is the Ignite going to get the kill? We're not going to know, as we're going to get a fight in the bot lane. Gets the Kaiser Flash, hooks a Braum. Fortunately, she's just going to walk away. Bomber, sorry, not Pazang. Bomber's doing a fantastic job on this Thresh. I think he's landed 3 out of 4 hooks, 75% hook rate. That's a great time to be a support player. But going back to the top side, what we'll see is normally it is a very common for champions like Shen, Pantheon, if we ever get a lane Nocturne, they will normally take Ignite and they will use their global ultimates or / semi-global ultimates to get back in the lane. And so Shen Ignite top, it is a lot more common than you think. It is just to help Shen, if 1 through 5 Shen can get a lead and then push the lead, he can then spend that lead leaving the lane, right? Because when you leave the lane, you're going to lose resources, right? It's not a case of if, it's a case of when. So it's about getting that reduction there. I want to talk more about this mid matchup because I feel like the Swain player is getting a real better heavy end of this. Meanwhile, we're
I
seeing it all
agree.
in
It's looking...
from this. Swain E is going to come back out. Galio has no flash. Is this
He's got no mana.
It doesn't
His
matter.
mana is
Ara
above him.
takes him down. Is he not going to die?
I think he's gonna die here. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a rough one here. And Waterboy might be able to get the kill. No. Fortunately for the Swain, Boom showed up just in time and was able to keep the Swain alive. And so we see everybody get away there with blinking health bars, which is super close to be honest. But yeah, I think this lane, like you said, the Swain is having a good time, right? He gets to just batter people for free. Just kind of pops R. As long as the Galio doesn't run away, he's going to be able to keep it going. Galio is never going to have the damage to kill him.
Not only that, but you're Swain into 4 melee champions. Like, this is going to be a case of you're going to have so much uptime on your ultimate. As we're discussing it now, it's already halfway down. So I can't wait to see what he's going to do with the next one. Galio has opted to rush the Spectral Scout in this matchup, which is once again very common. And we can see here, it's making the bully not so much as frustrating as that was a very interesting interaction there. I believe that was the Galio E versus the Swain E, and the Galio's... The Swain cast it as the Galio moved back, so it sort of like double knocked back him in a way.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Never seen that interaction before.
I feel like a weird jerk motion. It gives me nightmares of bouncy castle comps where you get multiple knockups or multiple knockbacks and just kind of like yo-yoing around. But either way, we see a little bit of action up in the top lane. We just kind of track CS numbers right now. We can see where most of this actually there isn't much of a gold lead at all. It's literally 100 gold. There's basically nothing between them. But we can see small CS lead, top lane, equal in jungle, pretty much equal in mid lane, and then pretty much equal in bot lane as well. In terms of first items here, what's everybody going for? So we can see, I'm assuming it's a Titanic Hydra for Shen, and a Rift Maker for the Gwen. So those are, I assume those are fairly standard, right? I know it's standard on Gwen. I'm not sure for Shen.
For Shen, the Shen player can opt to either go sort of like your Heartsteel or your Titanic. With the Titanic, once again, you're going to want to take this with your Ignite setup to give you more kill pressure. So the sort of Titanic is a lot more common for aggressive setups. And once again, we're seeing like this top lane matchup. We're seeing just across the map. It's going relatively even. I say that as they're actually doing a cheeky one. Is this towards... They're setting up for a Void Grub fight here. It looks like this is going to be our first big fight of the game.
Essentially, yeah, we did see the Drake was given over for free, so now I think they've tried to really delayed here, go for a cross map. But unfortunately, resets have come in. Waterboy's going to jump over the back. They're going to get one here, but then we see Flash double taunt here by Fentonjoy. Going to get the knockup onto Boom. Zapex has got his ultimate going here. He's trying to keep himself alive. Also still low mana, but the ultimate doesn't really care about that. Salson's going to fly in, get himself a kill, and then Waterboy's going to die on the other side of the fight. This is a really messy exchange here. Yeah, Braum joins the fray, going to throw his ultimate, going to land it onto Bomba. A two-man taunt there is going to slow down Fromage Fondu, but they are still on the push here. They've got one little tag here onto Fentonjoy. They're going to use the steadfast presence, but it baits in the Poppy. Poppy gets hooked and Poppy goes down, and it ends up being overall a 1-for-1 at the end of that fight. There were other people dying at the beginning, but I can't tell you who went down because they've all come back up because we're still early in the game.
So essentially, what would have happened there is that it was a 4v2 initially. Shen and Braum were a bit late to the fight, and unfortunately the fight just got so dragged out because once again the fight started in the front of Baron Pit, it wrapped around into blue, and then it went back into Raptors, and then it led to this massive exchange of a 2v2. Now, if I did see the notification correctly, I believe Gromp supporters did get the War of Heat. They did get that one mark out of 3.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing...
Feat of Warfare, so...
Yeah.
And then we see the second Gromp is going to go... Sorry, second Grub, even, is going to go over to Fromage Fondu. So they're going to get at least that feat for the feat of Monster Slaying. So both teams are at one feat apiece here in terms of the feats of Monster Slaying. Boom might be here for a gank. Hasn't had a successful one yet in this game, but it looks like Fentonjoy might be caught out. Lantern's gonna clutch it. Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Poppy W was just a bit too slow there to cancel the Dark Passage, which... Oh, wow, that was just if you're Swain, you just wasted ult for no reason, unfortunately. That's a really rough situation. Now he's going to be shoved out of lane with no TP. We're going to see a Galio pick up a CS lead. Meanwhile, Neferi ganking top lane, and Shen went for a proxy. Does Gwen have the ultimate? She's choosing to walk away. Maybe thinks that the jungler has it by herself. Galio ultimate coming in, going in huge, knocking it up. So many resources to kill the proxy Shen, and he's down.
Yeah, I was gonna say as much. I thought it was interesting to see that both mid and jungle there burn quite a lot. They both burn ultimates. Salson did not move on the Gwen, so he was just collecting his wave, which means that fortunately it's not actually punished because the Zapex was on a reset, so it's not like he was shoving the wave in and punishing Galio for not being in lane. He doesn't actually miss anything, so it's actually pretty clean by the side of Gromp support group, who are now slowly but surely building a little bit of a gold lead for themselves. We can see top lane and bot are they're actually still equal in CS, but there is, we're talking a couple hundred. I think it's literally just that kill at this point. But first items have come in for a few players here. We can see Yuntal Wild Arrows on the Xayah for Pizzazz and the Kraken Slayer for Kai'Sa. I believe these are both standard build though. Nothing too fancy as of yet.
So what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of the fights going on the top side, right? We're seeing Thresh and Brom's getting involved, and we're seeing that Thresh has opted to go for the Moby Boot, which will get him around the map faster. Meanwhile, Galio goes for a super aggressive trade, chunking out Swain here. Swain does win the extended trades, as you're seeing here. And Galio has another rotation of abilities up. Poppy is here to maybe just escort the Galio out. I don't think this is going to lead to a kill of some form. Yeah. Galio did have Hollow Radiance there, so once again, just a great sort of notice by him there. Very cheeky.
Very close.
Oh, are they going to kill the Shen here? This must be an easy kill, right?
Yeah, with the Eclipse there on the oh my god, her name escapes me, Neferi. Yeah, she is going to be able to shred him there with the ultimate straight into it. It's really difficult to miss your Qs once you land the ult with the Neferi. So, okay, that is another hook here. Luco is going to get caught out. The box is going to come out. Unfortunately, the channel of it means that he doesn't actually hit the Braum, and that millisecond difference there is the reason why Braum is able to live. He has less HP than I believe he would have taken from hitting one of the walls of the box there. Another hook.
Unfortunately, that one's not going to lead to anything. I believe he got Bomber for 6 out of 7 hooks. Like, I'm going to keep count of this. Jesus.
Yeah, like I said, man, he was one of the best Nautilus players that we saw in the Winter Open of 2025. And yeah, it looks like the hook mechanics they just stay. It doesn't matter what champ you're playing. But here we have another hook on a land there onto Boom, and it looks like the Fromage Fondu team are going into a very dangerous exchange here. Pizzazz is going to kill Boom off on the side. Heisenberg's caught to the side. Shen's going to go down. They're going to get another one. That's going to be a quick 3 kills here, and that's 3k gold now in the lead for the support group here, and they're going to get that second Drake, which is going to be their second tick on the feat of monster slaying. And yeah, just I think a little bit of over aggression from Fromage Fondu. They didn't have the people. I know they committed the Shen ult, which is kind of a devious thing, right? Like, it's like, oh, it looks like we don't have the people, but we do. But never mind, Zapex here is burning his flash to dodge the, oh no, clean play by Salson that's going to get himself his second kill of the game. Baited a little bit, I think, by using his flash away and then just walked back in, you know, create a false sense of security for Zapex there. He's like, oh, he flashed away, he doesn't want the fight, I can walk up. And then he walks back in and just throws the last charge of his ultimate, hits every single seam, and yeah, gets the kill.
So this is the thing that we spotted, right? Where Gromp support group, Galio and Neferi got their first items completed first. Meanwhile, 7 out of 8 hooks, let's go.
Poppy, it's gonna be another kill.
Poppy is behind, but doesn't matter though. They've got such a lead. Xayah's lethal tempo is fully stacked. Is she gonna be able to just melt the Poppy as well? Going for 2 for 3 most likely.
The Poppy getting the return kill has to burn ultimate there to keep herself alive onto Pizzazz. So, and then on the other side of the map, we see Salson got soloed by Athenum, so that is rough there, I think, for the Gwen. You did mention that the lane is supposed to be Shen favored, right? 51% win rate.
Yeah, and so what we saw here, we saw so many things to talk about, such little time. So, going back to first completed items, Galio and Neferi had their first completed items, right? And they used that to apply pressure. Then Gromp support group then turned that into a 5-man dragon, which once again they had the prior first. We're seeing Gromp support group here being very united in their decision making. They were at Voids first, they was at Dragons first. They are getting to these objectives first and just using their raw numbers to push their leads, which is fantastic. Meanwhile, we do have a really heavy all-in trade here. They didn't realize specials here. Swain's probably going to go down. Are we going to get? Oh, no,
minion.
7 out of 9. Sorry, mate. Going back to top lane though, Shen did do the correct thing. That the fact that Swain did communicate that Gwen used the ultimate on Swain in the mid lane, which then Shen was able to convert into a solo kill, knowing Gwen didn't have ultimate. Once again, Gwen's ultimate provides a lot of damage and a lot of sustain. So Shen doing a correct thing, because bearing in mind, he was 1-3-1 at that point to a 2-0-4 Gwen. So this was a really perfect punish here by the Shen player.
Knew exactly when to punish there, and yeah, really showing the difference here for the Shen player here, knowing exactly when he can and can't play. And right now it's looking like they're maybe going to make it a 2v1 here. Salson does have ulti here. He's going to try and go in. Galio is going to ult to try and make this a 2v2, and I think Boom might be caught out, and Boom is going to go down. Third kill on the board for Salson. Meanwhile, Autocam says, ignore top lane, bro. Top lane's never been important. Just look at bot. And Braum's going to pop his ultimate here. Pizzazz is going to try and move around. We got Bomber drops the box, and I think that's going to be another hook, and it should be another kill. Shen is going to ult to try and keep his support alive, but Lucas is still going to go down. Heisenberg is going to get a lot of decent damage here onto the stunned Desire, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. And now they're actioning the dive. We see Bomber takes 1, 2, 3 turret shots here, walks out of range, and now they're back to trying to maybe make something happen here. They commit to killing the turret itself first, and Pizzazz should be able to pick up this kill here. Finally finishes it, and he is 5-0-2 right now on the Zaya. He has not been shouted out right properly in this game. He picked up 3 kills in the big kind of dragon fight we saw earlier, the 5v in inverted commas 2, and he is really strong right now. Meanwhile, it looks like Zapex is getting caught out in his own jungle. Really well played here by Fentonjoy and Waterboy to apply the pressure, right? They have the lead, they have the strength, they have the numbers, they can do this. They knew Boom was probably coming back from base because he had just recently died. But now Fentonjoy seems to have overstayed his welcome here, and it is a 3v1. We see Waterboy and Bomber are here. We see the Lantern comes out and keeps Fentonjoy safe, but you know, it could have been catastrophic for him there. Meanwhile, the Herald is going to get popped, and they are actually going to secure the second tier 1 for them right now. So they've got the mid tier 1 and the bot tier 1. Now they're going to be looking hopefully for the Gwen to be able to get that third tier 1 up top. And once you lose all of your first turrets, you know, all of the tier 1 turrets, there is a lot of vision you lose on the map. You know, there's a lot of control that those structures give you just inherently. And yeah, it definitely puts you on the back foot if you're the first to lose those. Especially considering it's a 6k gold lead right now at 19 minutes. It is pretty categoric right now. And okay, Waterboy tries to jump onto Boom. Steadfast Presence is going to shut him down. Keeps him away. And Zapex is kind of caught out here. Yeah, I think he was trying to maybe come in and help, but it ends up actually just getting turned onto. And now Boom is here trying to lock down the Gwen, but no, yeah, Swain is just going to die. 4th death of the game for the Swain, and don't know what else they can really do here. You know, we've got 2 members top side. Kaiser's catching the wave mid. Zaya is soloing Drake right now, so she's probably going to secure soul point for her team without any contest.
So there was a few big things to point out, right? It was that in the earlier mentioned 2v2, Zaya was actually sitting on 2 items compared to Kaiser's 1. So once again,
Heisenberg's caught here though. Oh no. 6th kill straight over to the Zaya.
But unfortunately, Fondu is just not fully respecting the sort of item differences in bot lane there. Once again, committing the Shen ultimate into such a dangerous position there. And then when we saw the Gwen doing sort of like a 1v2 with the Shen Poppy before Neferi revived, we saw that Gwen was able to land R1 and R2 both on Shen and Poppy, giving her that insane healing, which once again is just like her R. There's a reason why it has been so heavily nerfed. The movement speed has been reduced on it, the damage has been sort of knocked off it, but then it just goes to show you that it has such great synergy with her passive that she just tops herself back up there. This is a massive 7k gold lead at this point, and it's a case of the bleeding just needs to be reduced here. Unfortunately, there's just loads of fights being taken they shouldn't be, they don't need to be. Meanwhile, though, they are collapsing 3 people onto Galio, committing Galio ultimate, Galio clash. They're just gonna kill this Shen and probably convert it into Atacon.
Yeah, I think again, where are the Fondu members right now? We have both of the bot laners, or bot lane and support are, you know, they're just crashing the wave in the bot lane, trying to get themselves a tier 1 turret, hopefully in consolation, but there's a TP coming straight out. And then Zapex is mid, trying to get his wave shoved in, and so, you know, yeah, they punish Athenum, collapse on him with a 3-man, and then just turn it into Atacon. And that's, I think, almost every objective has gone their way this game, and we see Salson has to burn flash there to keep himself alive. But he's still not actually dying here, so, you know, for as much as they got there, it was not really worth it. You lose the you lose your Atacon, and okay, he's maybe overstaying here. We can see Shen is coming in. They proactively use the Shen ult. They're going to try and taunt him here. This is a dive now. Salson is super low, but Heisenberg was tanking a turret, and Heisenberg's going to go down, and Gwen is going to go away with a 5th kill here. And okay, another hook. The steadfast presence is going to stop him from being able to get in on top of them, but then the taunt on 2 members is going to see Fenenjoy lock them down, and another fucking hook. Okay, Thresh. Yeah, I don't know what the.
Galio got it. He's got it.
Yeah, they got this. If he gets out, it's criminal. If he gets out, I'm actually gonna. Nah, there's no way. There's actually no way, dude. And another hook. He does get out. No. What's the HP? Can we find out what the HP is, producer man, please? I know it's your first day on the job, but tell me what his HP was at the end of that play.
I feel like in the hooks, I want to say that it's been like 11 out of 14.
It's been ridiculous. Is what it's been. It's
HP.
87 HP. That is crazy, dude. Holy. But honestly, expertly played that by Gromp support group to not actually drop any, like, and they didn't drop a single kill in that play. Like, Salson looked like he was gonna die, but he gets out. Bomba looked like he was gonna die, but he got out. And I'm like, it's, you know, it's just really well played to know where they need to be exactly, not over push it too much, knowing like the tempered aggression, you know, because it's so easy for you to, like we've just seen Fromage Fondu do, you know, try and be aggressive in a position where you think you have the control, and then it just doesn't go your way because you just didn't factor everything in. And the replay system is on the works, guys. It's not currently working yet. We're working on it. Give it time. So, you know, ain't called B-side for nothing. We're working on it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The replays will hopefully work by the next time we do the stream. But either way, we can see now 23 minutes, nearly 24 on the clock, 22 kills to 5, an 11k gold lead. So commanding lead right now for the support group. And they are cracking down on these turrets. They have gotten their 5th turret of the game. Unfortunate for Little Boom, the rest of his jungle is not his anymore. It's, you know, he has to sit back in the lane cuck chair and watch Waterboy steal all his camps. And oh, okay, maybe gonna get his own camp here. You see, he has to be literally accompanied by Lucos to be able to even farm this camp, while Bomba's still threatening it completely on his own, which is crazy. 3-1 and 12 right now on the Thresh, having a monster of a game right now. And yeah, let's take stock quickly of what items everybody has, what they're building towards. So we can see second item for the Shen came out as the Heartsteel. You did mention the Heartsteel would come in.
So we're seeing like a lot of completed stuff here. We're seeing Zaya on 3 items here, which is 7 and 0-2. First of all, this dragon's gonna melt.
Yeah. It's free.
Oh, we got Galio coming in, and then Zaya just walked around, and the Fury just jumped over. It's all 5 players.
Yeah.
Poppy isn't here, and just once again, where is your jungler? Like, if you're going to contest this dragon, which admittedly this dragon shouldn't have been contested, but you've got 4 players contesting it, why isn't the jungler there? It's showing you that Fondu is just, they're in a bit of disarray here, which Gromp support group have not had an issue grouping when they need to group. and just forcing all of these advantages. Because we even saw that when they was doing Atakan, Gwen TP'd bot, Gwen entertained them long enough for backup to arrive, and for that wonderful play that we did see where Thresh lived on 87 HP. Gromp support group is doing such a solid job in communications, right? Everything was looking pretty even until the Void Grub fight into the secondary dragon, as they gave up the first dragon, right? This is such a clean execution from Gromp support group. And now they turn it on to Baron. I think, looks like the Nexuses ain't going to be lasting up for long, are they?
This is, if Fromage can't do anything about this Baron, I think that, yeah, it's going to be one big push after they secure this Baron, and it probably will be game. They'll be able to fight them in their own base at this point, and it's going to be really, really difficult. Even we didn't really finish talking too much about the items. We see, you know, there's like 3 items on Gwen, there's 2.5 items on the Neferi, 2 big, these like strong items on the Galio as well, with the Riftmaker and the Hollow Radiance. His damage is really strong. These fights keep going long, and Riftmaker is an item you really want in those long fights. So
Neferi just finished Spear of Sojourn as well, and you're seeing it on the other side of sort of Fondu. You're seeing Shen, he has hit 2 items, but then you're seeing Poppy still on 1. You're seeing Swain just finish Leandries. We're seeing Kaiser just finish Rage Blade. Meanwhile, there is a fight breaking out. Braum is getting absolutely shredded through Stand Behind Me, which, wow. Do you know how much damage you need to shred a Braum through his Stand Behind Me? Swain is absorbing a lot of pressure here. Once again, the sort of dot build coming to fruition, pushing the Gallia out of the fight, but Zaya is still here, ripping through everyone. They're going past the tower now. It is just Neferi and Gwen, but it is enough. They're probably going to turn on the tower while Neferi and Gwen are just making space. Gallia TPing back in. Once again, we just called it one big push. Hip hip hurrah.
they even have push in all 3 lanes. So it's just like, you know, I don't know, it's just really well played on a macro level, I think. Like the fact that they had control of the waves at all times there, you know, like they really did just outclass Fromage Fondu in that game there. And if you're Fromage, I think, what do you do after that game? You know, what changes do you make? Because that was a stomp. And yeah.